two identical engines. Same factory, same displacement, same components. One spent its life in Japan, one spent its life in the United States. At 200,000 miles, the Japanese engine gets torn down. Camshaft bearings within factory tolerance, cylinder walls clean, oil passages clear. The American engine gets torn down at the same mileage, measurable wear on every surface, sludge in the oil galleries, camshaft bearing clearances outside factory spec. Same engine, different countries, dramatically different conditions. The difference isn't the engine. It's 6 habits. Japanese mechanics and drivers treat as basic knowledge that Western drivers were never taught. Not secret button sequences, not expensive products, just 6 genuine practices that are standard in Japan and completely unknown everywhere else. Today, we're going through all 6, where they come from, why they work, and exactly how to apply them starting today. By the end of this, your car will be maintained the way Japanese engineers actually intended when they built it. Let's get into it. Habit 1. Cold start idling. In Japan, this isn't a tip, it's a reflex. Every mechanic, every enthusiast, every driver who cares about their car does this automatically every single morning without thinking about it. In Western markets, almost nobody does it, and the difference shows up at 150,000 miles. Here's what's happening inside your engine the moment you turn the key. Oil is cold, thick, sitting at the bottom of the pan. The oil pump starts moving it immediately, but full oil pressure reaching every critical surface takes 20 to 30 seconds. Camshaft bearings, cylinder walls, valve stems, every one of those surfaces experiences direct metal-on-metal contact during that window. Every single cold start. Now, multiply that. 2 cold starts a day. 365 days a year. 10 years of ownership. That's 7,300 cold starts. 7,300 moments of unprotected metal contact. Each one microscopic, each one adding to cumulative wear that shows up as ticking, as oil consumption, as the engine that feels tired at 100,000 miles when it should have another 100,000 left. Japanese mechanics don't wait for oil pressure to build by accident. They give it time deliberately. Engine on. 30 seconds at idle before touching the accelerator or shifting into gear. Not a minute, not 5 minutes, 30 seconds. That's the entire habit. During those 30 seconds, oil pressure builds fully. Every surface gets lubricated before load is applied. The camshaft bearings that show accelerated wear in Western market teardowns at high mileage, those are the exact surfaces those 30 seconds protect. This costs nothing, takes 30 seconds. And it's the single most documented difference between how Japanese drivers treat their engines and how Western drivers treat theirs. Start tomorrow. Morning. Every morning after that. 30 seconds. Habit 2. Oil change intervals. Walk into any Western dealership today and ask when you should change your oil. You'll hear the same answer. 7,500 miles. Some will push 10,000. Modern synthetic oil, modern engines, extended drain intervals. Perfectly safe. In Japan, same engine, same oil, same manufacturer, the service schedule says 5,000 kilometers. That's 3,100 miles. Not because Japanese engineers are overcautious, because they understand what happens to oil between changes that most Western drivers never see. Here's what actually happens. Oil doesn't just lubricate, it carries. Every time your engine runs, oil picks up combustion byproducts, microscopic metal particles, moisture, and acid compounds from the combustion process. It suspends all of that contamination and carries it away from critical surfaces. That's the job. But oil has a finite carrying capacity. After a certain point, it stops picking up new contamination and starts depositing what it's already carrying. Onto oil passages, onto bearing surfaces, into the narrow galleries feeding your camshaft. That deposition point, the point where oil stops cleaning and starts contaminating, arrives significantly earlier than Western service intervals suggest. Japanese mechanics see this in teardowns constantly. Engines maintained on Western intervals show sludge in oil galleries at 100,000 miles that simply doesn't exist in engines maintained on Japanese intervals running identical oil. Same oil, same engine, different intervals, completely different internal conditions. The practical application is simple. If you're running conventional oil, change it every 3,000 miles. Full synthetic, 5,000 miles maximum. Not 7,500. Not 10,000, 5,000. The extra oil change costs $40 annually. The sludge buildup it prevents costs thousands to address once it restricts oil flow to critical engine components. Japanese engineers wrote the service schedule. Western dealers extended it. There's a reason those two numbers are different. Habit 3. Low viscosity oil philosophy. Here's something most Western drivers never question. The oil viscosity their dealer puts in their car. Shop says 5W30, you pay for 5W30. Nobody explains why. Nobody explains what the number means or whether it's actually optimal for your engine. In Japan, they question it constantly. And on most Japanese engines, the answer is different from what Western dealers are selling you. Here's what viscosity actually means. The W stands for winter. The first number, 0, 5, 10, measures how quickly oil flows at cold temperatures. Lower number means faster flow on a cold start. The second number, 20, 30, 40, measures film strength at operating temperature. Higher numbers means thicker protection under heat and load. Western dealers default to 5W30 across most Japanese engines. Sometimes 5W40 on older high-mileage vehicles. Standard recommendation, easy to remember, covers most situations. Toyota's JDM service specification for most of their 4-cylinder lineup, including engines sold in identical form in Western markets, is 0W20, not 5W30. 0W20. Here's why that difference matters. On a cold start, the 0W20 reaches critical engine surfaces measurably faster than 5W30. We're talking seconds, but those are the exact seconds from habit 1 where unprotected metal contact happens. Lower viscosity oil shortens that vulnerable window significantly. At operating temperature, 0W20 maintains sufficient film strength for normal driving conditions on engines designed for it. The concern that thinner oil means less protection at temperature, that applies to engines not designed for low viscosity oil. Toyota, Honda, and Mazda 4-cylinder engines built after 2010 were engineered with tighter tolerances, specifically to work with lower viscosity oil. Putting 5W30 in them doesn't add protection. It slows cold start lubrication and slightly increases friction throughout the operating range. Check your owner's manual, not what the dealer recommends, the actual manual. If it says 0W20, run 0W20. That's what the engineers who built your engine specified, not the service advisor trying to upsell you on premium conventional oil they have in bulk. Habit 4. Transmission. Partial drain. Walk into any Western dealership and ask about your transmission fluid. You already know the answer. Sealed for life. Never needs changing. Factory fill lasts the lifetime of the vehicle. In Japan, that answer doesn't exist. Japanese independent mechanics perform partial transmission fluid drains as routine preventive maintenance. Not a flush, not a full drain. A controlled, partial replacement every 30,000 kilometers, roughly every 18,000 to 20,000 miles. It's on the service checklist the same way an oil change is on the service checklist. Non-negotiable. Basic maintenance. Here's why the difference matters. Automatic transmission fluid does 3 jobs simultaneously. It lubricates clutch packs and planetary gears, it transfers hydraulic pressure to control shift timing, and it carries heat away from friction surfaces. Over time, it degrades at all 3 jobs simultaneously. Clutch material particles accumulate. Oxidation byproducts build up. Viscosity changes. The fluid that was shifting your transmission cleanly at 30,000 miles is a fundamentally different fluid at 100,000 miles. Darker, thinner, full of suspended debris. A full flush at that point shocks the system. Fresh fluid at full pressure through passages lined with degraded deposits can dislodge them all at once. That debris circulates through solenoids and valve bodies, causing exactly the damage the flush was supposed to prevent. The partial drain avoids this completely. Each service removes roughly a third of the total fluid volume and replaces it with fresh fluid. 3 services, and you've replaced the entire volume gradually, keeping the fluid clean without ever shocking the system with a sudden chemistry change. I've seen this save transmissions dealers quoted thousands to rebuild. The customer brings in a slipping transmission at 120,000 miles. Original fluid, never touched. 3 partial drains over 6 weeks, $40 each. Shifts restored completely. Sealed for life means sealed until the warranty expires. $40 every 18,000 miles means it never fails. Habit 5. Parasitic drawer management. In Japan, this is basic knowledge. Ask any Japanese car enthusiast what to do before leaving a vehicle parked for more than 2 weeks, and the answer comes immediately. Disconnect the negative terminal. No hesitation, no Googling. Just standard practice passed down through decades of enthusiast culture. In Western markets, almost nobody knows this exists as a concept. Cars sit for weeks, batteries die, owners pay $200 for a replacement and never understand why it happened. Here's what's happening while your car sits. Every modern Japanese vehicle has dozens of electronic modules that stay partially active with the engine off. Keyless entry sensors scanning for your key fob. Alarm system running continuously. Infotainment module maintains memory. Climate control holding settings. Each one draws a tiny amount of current every minute the car sits. Individually insignificant. Collectively, they drain a fully charged battery completely in 14 to 21 days, depending on battery age and ambient temperature. Japanese mechanics call this parasitic draw, not a fault, not a malfunction. Normal designed-in current consumption that becomes a problem only when a vehicle sits long enough for it to accumulate. The management is simple. Parking a vehicle for more than 2 weeks, disconnect the negative battery terminal. 30 seconds with a 10mm wrench. Battery maintains full charge indefinitely. Reconnect when you return. ECU relearns within 1 drive cycle. For vehicles parked under 2 weeks, a battery maintainer plugged into the 12-volt outlet keeps the charge topped without disconnecting anything. $15 investment, last year's. $200 battery replacement or 30 seconds and a wrench. Japanese enthusiast culture chose the wrench decades ago. Western drivers keep choosing the $200. Habit 6. Neutral Shut-Off Safety Protocol. This one is different from every other habit on this list. This isn't about engine longevity or fuel economy. This is about what happens in the 15 seconds when something goes wrong at highway speed, and the decision you make determines whether you stop safely or lose control completely. Most drivers with push-button start know one method to shut off a moving engine. Hold the start-stop button for 3 seconds. Engine off. Here's what that method actually does. It cuts engine power, power steering assist, and power brake boost simultaneously while the vehicle is still moving. Steering wheel stiffens instantly. Brake pedal hardens. You're managing a crisis while simultaneously fighting controls that just became significantly harder to operate. Toyota addressed this directly in a technical service bulletin following unintended acceleration incidents. The bulletin documented a safer method that preserves full steering and braking control throughout the shutdown sequence. Shift the transmission into neutral first. Then press the start-stop button once. Not held, just pressed. Engine shuts off immediately. But because the transmission is in neutral, the drivetrain is disconnected. Power steering and brake. Boost remain active from residual hydraulic pressure. The car rolls freely under complete control. You steer normally, you brake normally, you guide it safely to the side of the road and stop. Then apply the parking brake. Shift to park, done. One method leaves you fighting stiff steering and a hard brake pedal during an emergency. The other gives you complete control throughout. Same button, different sequence, completely different outcome. This was in a Toyota Technical Service Bulletin. Your dealership was required to know it. It was never explained to you at delivery. Now it has been. 6 habits. $0. The difference between an engine that's tired at 100,000 miles and one that's still clean at 200,000 miles comes down to exactly this: cold start idling, oil intervals, viscosity, transmission drains, battery management, neutral shutoff. Start with one today. Which habit are you adding first? Drop it in the comments.